What's up? I'm Troubleshoot. In this quick video, I'll be unboxing and showing you how to get set up with the Elgato Stream Deck Plus. That's this one with all of the different volume knobs at the bottom, a separate screen, which is touchscreen, and 8 separate buttons on top. Anyways, let's get into it. Setting up any Stream Deck should be somewhat similar to this, but this may be slightly different. Okay, so having a look at the Stream Deck Plus, it's essentially just a usual normal Steam Deck, but instead of having 15 buttons, there's only 8, and at the very bottom, the bottom 2 rows of buttons are replaced by a multifunction touchscreen that you can swipe on to change pages, and 4 individual buttons that you can assign different things to, mostly controlling volume and similar type things, and you can press them down to get to different functions as well. It's all super programmable and customizable. So you'll find the actual Stream Deck Plus itself, as well as an instruction manual, quick start guide, and of course, a cable to connect it to your PC. It's just a simple USB-C cable. I got 4 extra knobs in gold to match the rest of my setup. I'm replacing them here, and as you can see, there's just a small little notch in it that you need to align with the buttons on the Stream Deck Plus should you wish to replace them as well. There's a bunch of different colors. And there we go, we've got it plugged in, and we've got a very faint Elgato showing here, meaning everything is ready to go. Let's start with the quick start guide and get the software installed in order to use this thing. Fire up a browser and head across to elgato.com/downloads. In here, you can just scroll down and select your product from the drop-down. Mine will be under the Stream Deck, followed by Stream Deck Plus. Then we can choose to download Stream Deck software. Downloading this first, I'll skip the email entry and just download it. Then we can run it once it's done, and it should install just like any other software. We'll click through this here, and there we go. Once it's done, we can finish here, and now you can see immediately that things are showing on the screen, and we can customize them, etc. pretty much out of the box. This is the default profile that it's loaded, but of course you can create new profiles and edit profiles if you'd like to import them, etc. You can click the plus here to add a new profile and customize it completely to a different scenario. Say you have a streaming, a recording, and maybe a editing or something like that workflow. For me, I'll just be sticking to one for now, which has the default 2 pages to it, which we can even customize the icons for, just so we know exactly what we're doing. So, starting with this screen over here, we have the apps section, and inside of apps, we have Chrome, Firefox, Calculator, etc. If we head up one and into links instead, you'll see we have YouTube, Twitch, Corsair, Elgato, TikTok, etc. Then the emojis tab, obviously emojis, and when we open up a text editor like Notepad and press one of these things, you'll see it types it out, or at least it should. Seems like it mostly typed it out and now it's one behind, which is a little weird, but anyways, you get the point. It's supposed to be typing in here. Heading up a page, we can also head into Emoji Keyboard, which brings up a pop-up, which looks something like this. You can also access this with a Windows hotkey on your normal keyboard by just hitting Start and the period key or full stop, and it'll pop it up as well. From here, I'll head up one, and we'll have a look at the Tutorials tab, where you can learn about plugins, actions, accounts, profiles, folders, pages, and advanced, which takes us to multi-actions, smart profiles, dial stacks, and even more, which pops up the Elgato Deck Tutorials on YouTube, which is a huge playlist with tons of information about how to get this thing going. Most of these guides here should apply to this anyways, even though they're not specifically using the same Stream Deck, they all work mostly the same. Obviously, we have a screenshot button to take a picture of the screen, opens up the usual snipping tool, we can highlight and do whatever, and finally show desktop, which minimizes everything. Then in the touchscreen we have undo and redo, system volume, SD brightness, which is the brightness of the entire Stream Deck, as you can see here, and we can swipe to turn the page. If we swipe across this, we can drag more actions from the sidebar to level up our Stream Deck. So looking in our Elgato menu here, you can see that we have all of these different things. We can drag maybe a website into the top left, we'll call it Techno, and it will take it to my website. So https://techno.com. That's it. It's already grabbed the image, and as you can see, it's put it in here. If we choose to not have text at all, it'll show just the icon in the center. So if we go ahead and press this, it should open up a browser and head straight across to techno.com. I'll right-click and delete this so we can continue. In the very top right, if you have this specific Stream Deck, you'll also see dials up here, which we can use to control dial stacks, for example, to adjust the brightness, use a hotkey, multimedia controls, etc. Obviously, I haven't got anything too crazy set up for now, so I've got play and pause on the far left here, and on this one, multimedia followed by player, for example. In order to get rid of this background here, I'll right-click anywhere and choose Open Background Library, where we can choose from the defaults, so I don't know, maybe this one, and you can see it updates pretty much immediately. Obviously, you can want any of these or even none of them. For me though, I'll probably stick with something dark and simple. This looks pretty good. I'll go with this or maybe this for now. If I pull something across like Spotify, you can see that my volume knob, when I twist it, should adjust the Windows volume at the very bottom of my screen here. Then also, this player button over here changes the track that we're on, so if I push it forwards or click it backwards, it takes us backwards and forwards in our music. If we enter the dial stack and add, say, brightness to this as well, which is just the Stream Deck brightness, you'll see that when we press this in, it should change between the different options that we have in the stack. So I've got the brightness control here for the Stream Deck, and if we press it in, I've got my volume control for Windows. You can get pretty creative with this. Obviously, out of the box, there's not too much that we can do with this, but that's where plugins and things like that really come in and shine. But for now, that's pretty much the basics of these little knobs at the bottom. If we have a look at the keys, we can set things like system hotkey, and we'll go with probably a media play, which we can also choose from the drop-down over here. It's quite an extensive drop-down, and if we press it, it plays. Pressing it again, it pauses. Yeah, pretty simple. You now understand most of the basics here. Alright, let's talk about OBS integration, as that's what I'll be using here. In order to add plugins and things like that, you'll need to click the settings icon in the top right, and you'll see plugins here where we can manage by clicking plus, and this should take us across to the Stream Deck marketplace. In here, we can find pretty much everything you'd ever want to control: OBS, Discord, Voice Mod, Twitch Studio, etc, etc. The list is massive. I'll start by using OBS Studio. If we click Get, you'll need to sign in, or at least create an Elgato account, and then sign in order to install plugins, etc. I'll go ahead and do that now. Now that we've created our account, we can click Get once more and open in Stream Deck. Bam, there we go. You'll get a pop-up something similar to this. I'd recommend ticking this box and clicking Open Stream Deck. That way it'll always open the correct app. There you go, you saw a downloading icon, and now OBS Studio is set up here with all of the new icons and options with a little dot next to them. So I can use record, pause, stream, virtual camera, buffer, etc., and even scene collection. I'll add a scene option, and it should connect to our OBS Studio. And now at this point, it should just work. If you're like me and nothing's happening, well, I've had OBS Studio open since I installed the software, so I'll need to restart it. Let's do that. Alright, so reopening OBS Studio. I've got my profiles here, and as you can see, it's now loaded with all of my scenes which I have in OBS Studio. So if I were to go ahead and set this to, let's say, my zoomed in, which we're currently on now, and this one I'll set to another scene being my full camera, you can see that if I press my zoomed in, nothing should happen, but if I press full camera, I'm full camera, back to zoom, etc. Pretty cool. Now, I don't need to use keyboard hotkeys for this. Previously, I was using Alt followed by numbers on the numpad, being 0, 1, 2, 3, and of course 4 and 6 to move me between different sides of the screen. I can get all of those actions plugged into here, so I can press buttons on the Stream Deck and not need to worry about it. Obviously, that's a huge amount of options, and we only have 8 buttons here, but that's what the different pages are for. I can have one page for scene control, one page for something else, etc. Now, if you have volume knobs at the very bottom, like I do, you can add in here an OBS Studio audio volume mixer, and this you can use to control different audio sources in OBS Studio. So for example, I can control my microphone here. I'll make sure to turn this back up, and if we go ahead and twist it down, you'll see that I get quieter and quieter until eventually I'm completely gone. And cranking it all the way back up, here we go. Cool, it's built in. We can press it in and it should mute me. This obviously is just a seriously simple example of what you can do with plugins, and if you'd like to see a more in-depth guide on how to set up your Stream Deck in different things, be for OBS, Discord, etc. But one of the things I'll probably add here is the stream the game button for Discord. That's a huge another topic for many other videos. You now know how to get a quick setup for your Elgato Stream Deck, or Stream Deck Plus in my case, and you should be able to get rolling from here, as plugins are really where this thing gets most of its power. Going through the rest of the option screens here, we have General, where we can check for firmware updates and software updates. On the Devices tab here, we can set a screensaver and tell it when to turn off. I'd recommend probably 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how actively you're going to be looking at this thing. You can just touch it or whatever in order to wake this thing up. We can set a screensaver if you wish, so you can drop an image here. And on the Advanced tab, we can set a standby screen if you want as well. On the Accounts tab, you can add here and add a Streamlabs, Twitch, and YouTube or Facebook account. And if you choose to do so, you'll be able to interact with different plugins that link with these different platforms. Profiles, obviously we've already run through this super quickly. Plugins, we've only got the OBS Studio plugin installed here, which you can check for updates, toggle automatic updates, or even right-click and uninstall them here. Then, on the Style tab on the far right, we can change the alignment for text on different buttons, color, font, etc. Doesn't seem like you can use custom fonts here, you only have a couple of them, but I assume plugins can allow you to use even more. And that's it. That's a super simple basic crash course on the Stream Deck Plus, or just the Stream Deck software in general. The reason that I have this Stream Deck is an upcoming sponsored video where I'll be covering overlays.uno, which is super exciting, especially for how much control it gives you over OBS Studio, live broadcasts, etc. You can stay subscribed and you'll get notified about that video. Hopefully you found this video useful, and do let me know down below if you'd like to see more guides of this kind. My name's been Troubleshoot, thank you for watching, and a special thank you to Superior Emerald for being an ultimate supporter of mine. I'll see you all next time. Ciao.